I will treat you with a lot of love, with a lot of compassion, with a lot of kindness in this podcast today. And I know that not always I do it. Sometimes I come here and I am like a street fighter, yelling at you and screaming at you and almost intellectually and spiritually fighting with you because I want you moving in life. I want you keep pushing in life. I want you to maximize your whole potential. I want you to manifest your deepest truth, your deepest love, your deepest art. That is what is this all about. But today I just want to treat you with love and a lot of compassion because we are all running away from the fire of reality. And in the end of the day, you have so much going on in your life. I mean, hey, we are doing personal development. This is awesome. But personal development do not happen in isolation. You have family problems, you have maybe a sickness or a disease that you are dealing with, you have maybe economic difficulties or spiritual challenges that you are kind of trying to overcome. You have psychological suffering. You may have some dreams that you haven't fulfilled yet, and you are struggling with those every day of your life. You are struggling with the fire of reality so much in your life that it will not serve to come here and screaming at your face today. That will not help you move forward. But let me tell you what will help you to move forward. And that is the direct challenge that you have for today in this episode. And this challenge I call it burn yourself with the fire of reality, dude. Just burn yourself with the fire of reality. And you may be thinking, what the hell is that? I don't understand. Take a moment, my friend. Take a deep breath. Because today we're going to talk something very deep. Today we're going to explore something that have the potential to transform every atom of your existence, every parameter, every calibration, every centimeter of your psyche. Because the only way that you can master, dominate, and love reality, your life, your existence, your circumstances is by burning yourself with the fire of reality. Welcome, my friend, to the episode 521 of the most transformative podcast in the world. the Mastermind Podcast with your host, the Papacito of Puerto Rico. That was weird. That was very weird. Doctor, the Gorilla, Derek Israel. Oh, that was cool. The Gorilla? That is how you say gorilla in English? I don't know. Anyways, thank you for being here. I'm very excited. This episode of today, man, I have been planning this for so much time. I just always like say, I was saying like maybe other day, maybe next time, maybe next week, maybe next month. But you know what? I have to burn myself with the fire of reality about manifesting this reality, this exact and precise podcast. I cannot avoid it anymore. I cannot run away from this idea anymore. So here it is. Before we start, let me just say to you that I'm so excited. Yesterday, last night, I was working with my wife. She's my designer. She's my everything, and she was designing some of the illustrations that we are gonna be presenting in my first and new book. It's a very uh, expected book. People have been waiting for this book for almost 5 years. I have been working on this book 6 years, and I announced it like 5 years ago, like very soon I will launch my first book, and people have been writing to me about that book all of this time. And finally, we are in the final stage in which my wife is helping me to put the illustrations on the book because she's also an artist. And we are almost done with that. And then we are going to be publishing the book. So we are a couple of weeks away, maybe one, maybe two, max three, I hope, of publishing my first book. It is called Terapia con Derek. Therapy with Derek. And the English version will come afterwards, but the Spanish version will be coming very soon. So as soon as I announce that, please buy your copy because I don't know how many copies I will be having in the first stage of our book distribution, and you don't want to get out, you don't want to miss out your copy and your transformation. It's a transformative book, Terapia con Derek. So what is this idea about burning yourself with the power of reality? Look, this is an idea that I have been working on a couple of years ago. I heard it from one of my masters. His name is Leo Gura from actualize.com. He's one of the most brilliant men that I ever had the privilege to study and learn from. So it's a very good reference. And I also did a video about this. It's on Spanish, but it was more like an artistic video. So it was more like a video. One day I was driving in Colorado with my wife and with my daughter, and sometimes s- a thing that I do a lot is like I feel very inspired when I am driving. And sometimes I am so inspired that I just need to stop the car in the middle of the road wherever I am, and I just get out of the car and I start recording my ideas. And if you see my videos, not only my podcasts, but my YouTube videos, you see that format and structure a lot. Me just getting out of my car and start speaking because it's so inspiring. And I know that synchronicities, they just come one time in life. So if you don't kind of attack the synchronicity, they are gone. That is basically the definition of a synchronicity, something that happened, an event that happened one time only. So I did this with this idea, and I call it, I don't remember exactly the name. I think it is Quémate con el fuego de la realidad. Por si lo quieres buscar en mi canal de YouTube. It is the same name, but in Spanish. Burn yourself with the fire of reality. But it was like a 2-3 minutes video, and it was very inspiring, but I didn't go very in depth and I didn't have time to give a lot of details about how you actually can accomplish this and why this is so important for your ultimate expansion, your personal development, the manifestation of your magnus opus, your masterpiece, the manifestation of your magnum corpus, that is the body of work that you will be developing. Very soon I will be doing episodes around that, so stay tuned in the Mastermind Podcast, the most transformative podcast in the world. And so today I will attack this idea directly. I will burn myself with this reality. So, what to burn yourself with the power of reality really means? What is this all about? My friend, this is about confronting your life. This is about attacking head on whatever you need to attack in your life to continue moving forward, to continue expanding. Burning yourself with the fire of reality is acknowledging that reality is inevitable. It is here and it is not going anywhere. This book is the fire of reality. It's here. I can imagine that it disappear. I can do law of attraction and just feel the book disappearing, and I can do affirmations and I will open my eyes and that book will be there. That is the fire of reality. That doesn't mean that law of attraction do not work. It works, but in subtle means, not in gross means. And these things, these realities, this cell phone, this index card, these are gross things. They are very tangible. Like Albert Einstein used to say, reality is an illusion, but it's a very tangible one. It's a very real one. Persistent, I think was the right word he used. It's a very persistent one. So that's why we think it is so real, but it have the same substance of reality that your dreams have, for example, and your fantasies and your imagination, because reality at the end of the day is psychical, is psyche, is made of psyche, but that is another subject. Anyway, psyche can be very solid, and psyche can be very material, and psyche can be very tangible, and reality, like the physical reality, your material reality, or more than that, your circumstances. Because when we are talking about circumstances, we are not talking about only the material reality that is manifested in front of your eyes, but it's also the attitudes that you have for that reality, the emotions that you project to that reality, your whole psychological life around your reality. That is your life. It is more than material, it is emotional, it is psychological, it is spiritual. That is the fire of your reality. The fire of your reality is opening up to your life as it is. I will repeat, burning yourself with the fire of your reality is opening up and merging yourself with what is, with exactly what is in your present moment in your reality. And I will explain what is the contrary, the opposite, and I will explain some practical tips on how you can burn yourself better with the fire of reality in order to expand more in an exponential way. So stay tuned. I know that it's kind of confusing at first, but be patient, boy. Be patient, buddy. You will understand and it will be worth it. Believe me, this is one of the most important episodes. It's not going to be very complex, but it's going to be very practical. So why reality is fire, basically? Why we burn? Why I say burn yourself? Well, because reality sometimes it hurts. That's why we can compare reality with fire, because reality is not a massage, right? Reality is more like fire. You don't go to your reality, you don't go to your life and you say, "Oh my gosh, oh yeah. Oh, this is so nice. Oh yeah." Like if you was receiving a massage. No, your life it is not like that. Your life is it is more like, "Oh my gosh. Oh come on, baby." Arr." Oh, that sounds more weird. That sounds like another thing, huh? Right? But reality is like that. Reality is pain and also suffering and also love and also acceptance and also commitment and also happiness and also sadness. It's a combination of very different things that sometimes the total experience, the emergent kind of sentiment and consciousness and awareness of the whole life structure of your whole bubble of life is fire. Fire is like the metaphor for life because sometimes it burns the hell out of you. If you attend your life ferociously, you will fight. You will burn with life. Let me repeat. I know that I said a couple of things weird. If you give your maximum attention to the fire of reality, you will burn yourself a little bit. And hey, burning yourself, it is not a bad thing. We need to burn ourselves to mold ourselves. We need to burn ourselves to build ourselves. We need to burn ourselves to recreate ourselves. Hey, we come from suffering, boy. Think about your suffering. Think about your pain. Think about your past trauma. Think about how much that has contributed to your personality today, to you, to who you are today. How important is that for you? How much essential is that for your existence, for your work, for your career, for your artistic pieces, for your life purpose, for what you decided it will be your life purpose? You see, and if you want more information about life purpose, go to derekisrael.com and look for the course Manifesting Your Life Purpose. So, reality is like a fire, and you need to burn with it for the rest of your life. And in that way, and with this strategy, you grow and you expand. And more importantly, you evolve. So you may be asking, okay, Derek, that sounds kind of nice, except the part when you did sexual sounds saying that they were suffering sounds. I know you, Derek. You are a pervert. Yeah, I know you, Derek. um, but Derek, that sounds good, but what is the opposite? If we have in side A burning with the fire of reality, what we have in side B? What is the contrast? The contrast is avoiding or avoidance. Avoidance. What is avoidance? Not dealing with life, not dealing head on with your life, baby. Trying to run away from the things that you know you need to do. Trying to hide from the things that you should do in order to go to your next stage. We all know, my friend, what we need to do to transform into our next stage, but the resistance is so much sometimes. And we have an episode about that. Remember, it is called Transcending Resistance. Transcending or decide how it's called. I think it is called the Science of Transcending Resistance. You can search for that in my YouTube channel. It's on English, that episode. We have so much resistance sometimes to face reality that we just prefer to avoid. And hey, if this, we all do this in a certain way. Some people do it more than others, but just let me tell you something. If this go very, 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 very deep in your life, you can develop a psychopathology around this. And that is not good. It is called the avoidance personality. And people that have this type of phenomena or symptomatology or way of being, they avoid everything. They avoid everything that is painful enough. So they cannot move forward, because let's say that you want this type of work, but you avoid looking for the information about the work, or you avoid acquiring the requirements for the work, or you avoid calling every day in order to verify or to confirm an interview, and you avoid going to the interview, and then you avoid going to the first day, and then you avoid talking to your peers, and then you avoid volunteering for becoming the leader of a project, and then you avoid, you deny that is something you try to hide, you resist, you procrastinate, you cry, you scream, you call your best friend, you start to see that season 1 of that series in Netflix because that is better than burning yourself with the fire of reality. Then you start watching Derek Israel all day because Derek Israel have all the answers. He's so smart. He's a guru. Oh my God. And you are not burning yourself with what you have to do. That is the opposite of burning with the fire of reality. And the problem is that the time passed and you never change, because you are avoiding what you need to do. And you only transform yourself when you do the thing. You only transform yourself when you do the thing. So let me ask you, what have you been avoiding lately? I know that I have been avoiding stuff that is painful, stuff that give me emotions of fear, negative emotions. But I am systematically burning myself with the fire of reality. Sometimes you need to fill your mouth with more than you can chew. That is the only way. Sometimes you need to fill your agenda with fires that you cannot face or bear or beer. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that word. Beering, bear, beer, to beer. I think it's to beer. Like to put the weight on your back. That is the only way to transform yourself, to do the thing. So what have you been avoiding? And why is another question that you should be asking yourself. Why? Because it is not the same to avoid because you have fear, than to avoid because you are angry, than to avoid because you don't feel the energy to do it, than to avoid because you really do not want to do it. And it is something that is like imposed on you from someone else. So you need to establish very well. You need to diagnose, hey, why the hell am I avoiding this, man? Why I'm not facing this head on? And then when you kind of know, then you need to decide very consciously. And this is kind of a spiritual surrender. And I have an episode on Spanish about that. You can search on my YouTube channel or my Spotify or my Apple podcast station. You can search for Surrender, Mastermind Podcast Surrender, and you will find that Spanish episode. So you need to surrender. That is a spiritual power in which you say, you know what? I surrender. And then when you surrender, you remove the resistance. And when you remove the resistance, you can finally open up to to burn yourself, to burn yourself with the spiritual fire of reality. So why we avoid, you may ask, why we do this? Well, this is very natural for us to avoid. First, we avoid because we have an ego. Let's start by that. You have an ego. You have an individual identity that is very proud of itself. And your ego knows that reality do not acknowledge him. Reality do not acknowledge your ego. Have you noticed this? This is very spiritual. Huh. There's a new idea for me also. I have never thought about this before. Reality acknowledges your spirit because reality is spirit. Reality is the same substance of consciousness and life and spirit and love and union, what Carl Jung and the alchemist used to call unus mundus, the one world. I will be launching a book about that, not very soon, but in the future. Um, so life kind of acknowledge your spirit. So that's why when you do an spiritual act, when you do like a spiritual projection or a spiritual transformation, life kind of change because it have a correspondence principle. And I have an episode about that in Spanish. It is called El Principio de Correspondencia. So reality and spirit, life and spirit, they are in parallel transforming themselves, right? If you transform reality, you transform your spirit. If you transform spirit, you transform reality. But that is not the same with your ego. No, 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 because your ego, it is kind of the opposite of spirit. It is spirit, at the end of the day, it is made of the same thing, but your ego is like a kind of an emergent entity in the realm of consciousness. And the problem with your ego is that your ego think that it have the power, and your ego think that it has control. And the reality is that your ego have zero control. That is just an illusion, but you need to think that you have control, because at least you will feel a little bit more comfortable existing. Because remember, existing is a price, dude. Existing and existence is suffering, is a cost. We are not here free. We are not here la la la, dancing with butterflies. No, we are existing. We are suffering. We are struggling. We are moving. We are building. We are transforming. We are existing. And your ego wants to have control. And that's why when your ego perceives, when your ego perceives that it may lack control, it will try to avoid the thing. It will say, I don't know. Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I should do other thing and blah 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 blah. Notice your ego. Notice the devil. Notice your maximum competitor. And I have episodes about that in Spanish as well. One is called La verdadera naturaleza del diablo. Búscalo en mi canal de YouTube. Y el otro se llama Conoce a tu máximo competidor. Your ego is your maximum competitor. That comes from the Jews perspective, from the Kabbalistic perspective of life. You are always competing with yourself, with your ego, with your fears, with the thing in your mind that is trying to avoid the inevitable. What is the contrary from, the contrary of denial and avoidance? perfect will. That is the opposite thing. That is what you should be aspiring to develop a perfect power of will, because then you will never avoid. You will face everything head on. But hey, at the end of the day, this is a spectrum. You will be somewhere in the middle. Like you will never have a perfect will, what I call the will of God. I also have an episode about that on Spanish. It is called La Voluntad de Dios. Búscalo en mi canal de YouTube. Te va a explotar la mente. So we never kind of develop that perfect will. That is an utopia, but that is something very, very good to aspire. That is a personal development constitutional value, you see. And if you heard that mini series that we discussed yesterday and the day before that, it is called Constitutional Values and Divine Constitutional Values. Search that on my YouTube channel. It will change your life. So the perfect will is a constitutional value of personal development, because if you develop a perfect will, you will break the illusion of avoidance in your life, and you will not be stuck in your life. So we cannot underestimate the power of attention. Attention is so powerful. That's why the eye, it is a very powerful symbol and a very used symbol for religion, because the eye, for example, in Egypt, religion and culture, and other tribes have done it also. The eye do not only mean I can see you. That is kind of the general meaning, right? I am seeing you. I am the eye that everything sees. But also it means I am attending. Never forget this. This is a spiritual truth. I am attending. I am giving my attention. And you may say, why is that so spiritual? What? Let me just record this in a story because I want to promote this podcast more. How are you asking me? Are you asking me? Oh my God. This is so difficult sometimes. Like being the marketer, being the performer, being the intellectual, being the guru, all this at the same time. It's very difficult to burn myself with this reality. But when you see the eye in some religion as a symbol, it does not only mean that I can see you, and I am omnipresent, but also I am attending. And by attention, we mean that by attending, I can create reality, because you create what you attend. You create what you put your attention on. We know that from physical quantum mechanics, from quantum mechanics. So the eye is not only seeing reality, but the eye is also projecting reality to the world. So the eye as the symbol means that you are creating the universe. You see. So the power of attention is essential, because by attending the universe, you change the universe. So if you are attending something, you are not avoiding something. Are you noticing the difference? If you are putting your attention, your energy in something, you are not letting that thing go away. And remember, when you are not attending something, what is going to happen? Entropy will come. Entropy is the natural force of chaos, things disintegrating themselves, because things, they decompose. Everything is destroying itself right now. The computer is degenerating. The cell phone that you have is degenerating. You are degenerating. This is entropy. And when we do not attend a thing, the thing goes broke easier. Have you noticed this? If you don't drive your car, the car start failing. If you don't attend your social media, followers starts going away. If you don't attend your relationship with your partner, what is going to happen? He will be infected by the virus of infidelity. Maybe, I don't know. But if you don't attend your body, your physical health, what will going on? What will happen? It will degenerate. You will become more and more weak, more weak, more weak. So attention is a building element in your reality. You need to attend what you want to build, and you need to be attend with full concentration of forces, with the full concentration of your forces. And I will be doing um I think like 2 episodes around this topic of maximum concentration of forces, and also a term that I call spiritual sword, or sword spirit. I don't know exactly how I will word it because I have the concept on Spanish, but in English sometimes it change. So you need to understand, my friend, that confronting your reality, it is the ultimate spiritual technology for you. Confronting your reality, it is the ultimate spiritual technology for you. If you avoid reality, if you deny what you need to do, if you try to hide in a corner, you are not evolving. You are disintegrating. You are being less than you can be, because there's only one way to grow, and that is facing head on the thing and struggling until you master the thing. So don't avoid, attack head on. You see. So when we think about spiritual technologies, we think about praying, we think about meditation, we think about yoga, right? We think about maybe mindfulness, or we think about fasting. Those are very popular spiritual techniques. And most of them, I have been teaching those to you for years now. And I will be continue teaching you more techniques in the future. But this is also one that you should be putting in your repertoire, in your tools. Confrontation of reality. Confrontation of reality. So let's say that you need to develop a business and you know that you need to do it, but you have been struggling with this for years. Well, what is your next step to expansion? To confront your reality, dude. To build the business. Forget about everything else. Build the business. Build the business. Maybe you have been falling in love with a guy that you don't tell him nothing. You don't dare to tell him in the face, baby, I want you. I want you forever. I want to eat you right now. Yummy, 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 like a Pac-Man to a ghost. Well, if you avoid that, how you will grow? Just think about it. Even if that guy say no, by just the fact that you confront your reality, that you burn yourself with the fire of truth, with the fire of pragmatism, with the fire of what is, with the fire of the ultimate circumstance, the ultimate result, by only that fact, you evolve to a next thing. And the next time that you fall in love with someone, you will tell him quicker because, hey, you did it once. Now you know how it feels. So remember that you have a direct challenge in this episode, and that is to burn yourself with the fire of reality. And I want you to think about one thing that you have been procrastinating now that you cannot do anymore, and that today you will burn yourself with that fire. You know what is. You know what is, bro. That's why you come here. That's why you do this podcast. I know they are long sometimes. I know that my English is hard to understand sometimes, but you are still here. You are still doing the work. You are still fighting, boy. You are still in war, in the war of your greatness. This is a war, friends. We are all on war. And if you don't know exactly what is the spiritual nature of war, please go to my YouTube, Spotify, or Apple podcast stations and search the episode, What is the True Nature of War? It's on English. What is the true nature of war? Because war is love. We are in the love business, and the love business is confrontation. Let me repeat this. We are in the love business. Love slash war, confrontation, conflict. And at the end of the day, this all is just confrontation. You need to confront life. So let me tell you 5 practical tips that they will help you to burn yourself with the fire of reality constantly, every day in, day out. This is something that you must do every day because it's like a muscle. Avoidance is a muscle. If you avoid one day, the next day you will avoid again. And the next day it will be easier for you to avoid again and to avoid again. Because guess what? Weakness is a muscle. Also, strength is a spiritual muscle. So if you start burning yourself with the fire of reality every day, then that builds up and you will not avoid your destiny anymore. You will attend everything instantly. There's a problem, there's your attention. There's your attention, there is your confrontation. There's your confrontation, there is your procedure, your actions, your response, your strategy on how to solve that. And then there is a new result for your life. All start by attending and then confronting. You cannot avoid, you cannot hide from the fire of reality. So, the first tip is to burn yourself every day, every day, every day for the rest of your life, even in your deathbed. I want you to face the fire of reality. And that fire of reality is that you are dying. How many people they are you see in the movies? Like in war. I was seeing a movie in a plane a couple of months ago. I don't remember. It was a very good movie though. Man, I forgot the name. Anyways, it was a war movie, and this soldier got hit by some. I think it was by a he got stabbed with a knife by a enemy, and he was dying, right? And he was with his partner, and he was saying to his partner, "I am not dying, right? I am not dying, right?" And he was almost dying, like dying. And his partner he was saying to him, I think his partner said to him, "Yeah, you are dying." And then he was like, "Oh no, no, please no, please no," and then he died. And hey, no judgment. Maybe if I got stabbed, I will do the same. I don't know. But this just is to illustrate the point that sometimes we don't want to face whatever it is. For example, sometimes you need to face the temperature as it is. You are cold? Okay, face the fire of reality. You have a hunger right now? Face the fire of reality. You need to clean you need to clean your kitchen? Face the fire of reality. Oh my god, I hate that fire. When I need to clean something, but that is a fire that I need to burn and to face and to feel and to transform by. So this is about commitment, a long-term commitment of or to facing reality. We can call this also a divine vow. I make the vow, I take the vow that forever I will be facing the fire of reality, the fire of results, the fire of what is. The second practical tip is to practice mindful suffering. And I have an episode on that. It is called, guess what? Guess how? Mindful suffering. It's on Spanish though. So if you are only an English speaker, don't bother. But if you're a Spanish speaker, just search on my YouTube channel, Mindful Suffering. And that is basically when you acknowledge that suffering is just a natural part of existence and you suffer mindfully. You suffer with all the consciousness that you can suffer with. You are not suffering with a small portion of your consciousness because you are so afraid of suffering that I need to only suffer with this part of my consciousness. No, 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 no. You are suffering with your whole consciousness, with your whole body, with your whole apparatus of existence. You are breathing that fire of reality. You are breathing that pain. You are not avoiding that pain. You are there, mindful. Have you ever practiced mindfulness? Maybe you have practiced mindfulness with a chocolate, and it is a very good thing to do. I have a video about mindfulness. You can look on my YouTube channel, Derek Israel Mindfulness. It's on Spanish as well. But anyways, you can also do your own research and search what is mindfulness and some of the techniques. Is one of the most popular meditation forms of contemporary times. And so sometimes what we do in mindfulness is just take a chocolate and just eat it mindfully without thinking in anything else than just being the flavor, being the experience, being the sensation. And you are, oh my gosh, oh, this is so delicious. This chocolate, and you are mindful eating that. You are flavoring that, but do that same thing with your suffering, as if your suffering was chocolate. That is mindful suffering, to suffer with mindfulness. So when you approximate to the fire of reality, approximate in a very mindful way. Because that is the way that you are opening up to stimulate and to promote more transformation. The third tip is to meditate on the beauty of potential to actualization and back to potential or further potential. And I will be doing a future episode about this very soon, like I don't know, maybe in a month or maybe in 3 weeks ahead. Um, I don't think it will be immediate. I have other things that I want to discuss before this, but hey, if you want more research on this, if you want more context, just search for Aristóteles in español, and then you can search potential and actuality, because Aristotle was a very, very profound man, and he discussed this a lot. So when I say that you need to meditate on the beauty, is that you need to become conscious that it's beautiful, that this whole process of burning yourself with the fire of reality, I mean, transforming the potential to the actual thing. Because when you have potential, when something is on his potential form, notice you are not burning with the fire of reality there, because it is potential. Let's say that you have a text that you don't want to look in your phone. It is a text from your boss, and you are avoiding looking at that text. Well, that text exists only in potential. It can be whatever it can be. The text may, your boss may have write to you, you are an awesome employee, but also is there the potential that he wrote to you, you are a horrible employee, and also there is the potential that he wrote to you, you are fired, and also there's the potential that he wrote to you, I love you. If you don't check the test, everything is possible. And if you saw the movie um Mr. Nobody, I recommend you that movie. It's one of the best movies of all time, at least in my opinion. I am not an expert on movies, though. This is just an opinion of a random guy. I'm talking about cinema. But yeah, in the butterfly, it's not the butterfly. The the Mr. Nobody movie, basically, they what the reason that what I say butterfly is because that movie is made around the butterfly effect, but that is another term and another subject. So, anyways, when you don't face the fire of reality, everything remains in potential. And that is good because, hey, everything can be, but how that is good long term if you don't ever actualize that potential to a finite form, to one thing, to a singularity. And that singularity, you may hate it. You may open the text and the text may say you are fired, and you will say, oh, I knew it. That's why I didn't want to burn myself with the fire of reality. But hey, at least you know, and at least you can prepare to look for a better job tomorrow, or start your own business today, or introspect why the hell you got fired, or to celebrate in case that you love the fact that you are fired. But you need to face the text, you need to face reality, you need to face whatever in order to turn that infinite potential into one thing. And then when you notice, this is the phenomena, when you have that one thing, automatically you will have infinite potential again. Because oh my god, this is so beautiful. Look at this. Oh man. So the text was in potential, then you saw the text, and now you have infinite potential to do whatever you want with that reality. So you are fired, right, from your job. Now you have infinite potential. What you can do? Well, you can call him back and say, please do not fire me. You can go online and search for new jobs. You can say, okay, I retire, I am done, I will not work anymore. Or you can say, okay, I will take my savings and I will travel the world. Or you can say, oh, this is the perfect moment to write my book. Or you can do whatever you want. It's infinite potential again. So the whole journey of life is from potential to actuality, to potential again, to actuality, from potential to actuality, to potential again, and forever. Everything is actuality and everything is potential. Everything is one thing and all the things at the same time. That is the beautiful cycle and circle and structure and metaphysics of life. But if you only stay in the potential because you are avoiding facing actuality, what is real, what is really going on, you are corrupting the flow of life. Notice this. You are corrupting the flow of life. Because life wants you to understand this fact, burn yourself with this reality, and then more scenarios will open to you forever, and then you will actualize one of them, and then more, and then more. And we can call this a fractal infinite mechanism. And I will be doing, I don't know if in an episode, because that is more profound, But maybe in another product that I will be developing in 2023, I will be discussing what is a fractal infinite mechanism. But you can just research for your own fractals. Fractals. You will fall in love with that. Man, this is so powerful, this podcast of today. I don't know if you are feeling it, but I am feeling it, man. I am burning myself with this reality. So let's continue with the next one. With the fourth practical tip, we are just one more to go after this one and we are done. So the fourth one will be understand that if you avoid the process, you don't deserve the result. If you avoid the thing, you don't deserve the result. Look at it this way. Sometimes reality is just testing how much you want it. How reality tests? Reality will put a very, very, very difficult obstacle in your way. And that is the test. If you don't face that obstacle and penetrate that obstacle, you don't deserve the result that you want because you didn't pass the test. So if you avoid the test, you are conforming with mediocrity and you know it, and then you hate yourself. But if you go head on, if you confront reality, if you burn yourself with the fire of what is, you pass the test and you manifest on something. It may be not the result that you wanted, but at the end of the day, at least it was something. At least it is something to keep moving forward. So face head on the problem, dude. Face head on the problem. In the other side, you will know the beast. You are a beast. You're a monster. You are a giant. You're a titan. But it's in the other side of the fire of reality. If you cannot cross, you can never know yourself, your real self. And the final practical tip that I want to share with you. By the way, before I forget, because I always forget, now that I am promoting here my TikTok, today at 5 p.m., but it's gonna be today. All right. Today is 6th of April. I will be interviewing a very good woman. She's like a influencer on TikTok on topics around sex and relationships. So if you want to see that interview live, it will be at 5 p.m. MST, 5 p.m. MST live on TikTok. Then I will be uploading that interview on my YouTube channel. It will be on Spanish. So maybe you probably today I will be uploading that. So then you can watch it afterwards if you want. But I would just want to announce that. So the last tip that I want to mention is that you need to decide on which type of pain and suffering do you prefer to live, because you are living with a type of suffering. No way around it. You cannot deny this. You cannot avoid this. You cannot escape from it. But there's one suffering that we can call the suffering of the fire of reality. It is the suffering that comes from you by facing what is. And believe me, you will suffer because sometimes what is sucks. Sometimes your father died. Sometimes your partner, she's unfaithful to you. And that is the fire of your reality. Sometimes you didn't pass the exam. Sometimes you didn't got selected for a job that you really wanted. Sometimes reality sucks. And that is one type of suffering. But what is the other? Well, the other is the suffering that comes from knowing that you are a hypocrite because you are denying and avoiding and running away as a coward from the fire of reality. That is a, man, that is a gross suffering. Because at least the suffering that comes from facing reality, that suffering has meaning. But what meaning has the other one? What meaning has the running away? The only meaning that has is that you are a coward. And spirituality is not about being a coward. It's all the contrary. It's all the opposite. It's about of being brave and courageous and a leader. The leader cannot escape from the fire of reality. The leader, if you are a leader of organizations, of just the leader of the everyday life, I will be publishing a book about that subject like in a year for now, from now. I call it the leader of the everyday life, el líder de la vida diaria. If you are a leader, you cannot do this. You need to suffer the pain of reality, not suffering the pain of avoidance. So at the end of the day, you decide, my friend, what type of pain you will choose in your life. I hope that you select the right one, the spiritual one, the meaningful one, the right one, the right one. Well, that's it. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. I want to know what is the thing that you are avoiding. Share it with the community, write it on a comment. I want to know that you will face that you will burn yourself with the fire of reality. And if you comment that, trust me, your brain will follow up because the brain loves social validation and social commitment. So by you commenting this in a social platform, you are saying, hey guys, hey woman, I will do this. I will face this fire of reality. Also remember to share this episode with a friend, with someone. If you send this to someone, you may be helping them facing their own fires. But if you never send this in an inbox or just in a tag or just posting this in your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram, a screenshot, whatever, just share it, man. Just share it. It will help a lot another people and you will help this product. Also, if you want to help further this product, we are active on Patreon, and that is a platform in which you can donate only $5 per month. And by donating, you are helping us to become self sustainable and to help people more with this free, awesome, extraordinary, exotic, fire like content. Also, by you donating, you will receive special benefits, exclusive content. So go to the link that is in the description that it says donate on Patreon or start in Patreon and go there. You will read all the information. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, hey, thank you a lot. And I want to thank all the Patreon supporters that are starting to support this podcast. And hey, at the end of the day, join us. We are building this together. We are building this transformational empire and building together. It's an empire. It's an empire, man. This is long term. Never judge this product of mine as a short term thing. You need to look at what I have been sharing with you in a larger context, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, because this will continue and we are going to impact so many lives, so many lives. We already did that a lot in the Hispanic community. That's why I'm transitioning to the English community, because I know there's so much other people that needs to hear what we are discussing. So check Patreon, check derekisrael.com. Also, remember that in derekisrael.com is where I will be publishing the book, Terapia con Derek, Therapy with Derek. Very tuned with that. Grab your copy right away. And also there you can find my courses about life purpose, about meditation. I have a course about sexual mastery. If you want to master the art of the bed, I also have a course of um, how to be a top content creator and about self-love. So in my derekisrael.com, in my store, you can see everything that I have to offer. Very soon I will be launching merchandise. Very soon I will be launching NFT projects. And very soon I will be launching my whole love to you. And just remember, my friend, that you need to burn yourself with the fire of reality. Face